This is the war recap of Code Enigma and Spartans Legacy in the NDL semis. And who wins? Looks like we come out on top because we ended up with 9 10v10 triples. 9 10v10s and 1 11v11. Breakdown is 7. What am I talking about? Breakdown is 7 Town Hall 11s. So anyways, I'm going to show a bunch of attacks. Let's just start out with Richard Dick himself showing us that he has what it takes to be the master of all masters. Thank you guys. Anyways, a great war from them. I did catch the stream. You saw me attack live. Again, if you are new, make sure you follow me on Twitch, Halo_Okraheads. I'll have the links in the description below. Follow me. I do live attacks because I almost had a 10v10 live. It was close. It really was. I just had a wall breaker fail. But I finally did end up 3-starring on my second hit. Thankfully, I made that video. If you haven't seen that, you're going to have to watch it. I don't know when I'll post it, but I'll have the link somewhere. We're going to do a Suicide Lalo. Now, do miners work well? No, these aren't miners, but I really love Lalo, I'm saying, over miners at the Town Hall 11. Even over bitch. Lalo definitely seems where it's at on the, maybe not every base, but a lot of bases do really, really nice. So, again, on this sort of base, you're going to find out it's actually a very bad base design. It's actually extremely bad. And the reason I say that is because what we have here, it's like an L-shaped. You see how it just L-shapes perfectly? There's like no funneling issues and whatsoever. And because of this clone spell in the middle, in which he almost missed, but because of the clone spell here, was able to kind of carve out this middle section. All the loons here are just circling from 2 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and he's got 12 o'clock loons as well. You see, it's just kind of like a square. They're coming in an L-shaped, and because he kind of cut the middle with those clone loons, he's got nothing but to come in. You know, I mean, it's just perfect pathing. Nothing really can stop these loons. There's not much spreading out. So the anti-3 design was honestly really weak to the Lalo. Now, I think it really held up, I think it seems like it held up against the bitch attack. I think he was probably defending against that maybe, thinking, you know, the attacker might just kind of spam it in. So it can be a little difficult as far as base designs. I'm not a Town Hall 11 base designer, but there's a beautiful attack from Richard. Starting it off hot. Now, we got that pretty early in the war, I think, so it definitely gives a morale boost as well. We start out pretty hot in the war on 10v10s, and then we really cool down. But I'm going to show you York's attack. Now, this is his new Town Hall 10. He's a Town Hall 9 player, but I think he just got a 10, and he's smoking it. I mean, it's very hard to step from 9 to 10. A lot of players are really good at 9, but then once they get to Town Hall 10, they realize, oh my goodness, I don't even know what I'm doing. But York, really, aka Michael, really showing us that, or not showing us, proving that he's a beast. He can do the Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10 gameplay. That is tough. Not everyone can do that. I've seen a lot of people struggle. Like some people can't do the Town Hall 10 content, so they go to Town Hall 11 because it's a different meta. You're dipping pretty much in all wars. Once you get up to max and all, not even max, once you get that warden up pretty decent high. So using a queen walk from Michael, and this was just kind of brilliant, guys. I don't really know what to say about it, but mayhem amazingness. Am I going to be showing all Town Hall 10 attacks? Should I? If I'm going to show all Town Hall 10s, I might have to double. But here comes the lower. Look at the perfect wall breaks. You notice so many beautiful wall breaks. He's going to have one more wall break in, and then that will ensure that the queen will just kind of keep pathing very nicely. Going to deal with the hound with a little minion behind, but here's another wall break here on the corner. This will help push the queen in so she won't walk around, and then he's got one more. Now, again, he opened up the outer wall so he could get to the inner wall, and that was just beautiful. Now, under rage, I don't know if he had planned that, but it seemed pretty planned to me because he had that rage down. He realized he could totally do that. Look at that. Beautiful minions there, my friends, and we'll double time this, but this is just perfect Lalo. He's got nothing but up on the top to clear out all these kind of air defenses, and because of the base design, able to get in there. So again, as far as the queen kind of carved out pretty much a whole flank, all funnel, and then he just had to come in from 3 o'clock, take down the Inferno towers, and then it was all she wrote. All she wrote. Again, you don't have to take down Infernos with a queen charge all the time. You can let your loons do it, and there was a smack. Yes, that was a big smack. Thank you, taking down jams. Jams only. He got pickled in a jam because he is a jam. We're moving onward. My memories, my comments are crazy. My comments are crazy, but we're using bowlers and golems. And hogs, a go boho at Town Hall 10. Come on, Nos v Rusher. Nos v Rusher, Nos? I don't even know. Something like that, Nos. Let's call him Nos. Nos the Rusher. Now, I don't have time to pause it, but you see these hogs here? This is beautiful funneling. Now, you might be thinking, well, why in the world did he waste 3 hogs on a defense right there? What's the point of it? Well, the point of it is, see how the bowlers go straight to the Inferno? If this building was up, they would have shifted here. Now, their bounce could have taken that down, but if it didn't, you could have had split bowlers. You could have had bowlers hugging this wall over here instead of pathing straight down into the core, into the Inferno Tower. When I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness. Nos, you know funneling better than anybody. Perfect giant here. Now, that's a giant trick I've talked about at Town Hall 8 or even Town Hall 9. Using a giant to distract the Wizard Tower and the Archer Tower. That means that Wizard Tower will not be doing damage. Nice freeze. A lot of times I definitely see early freeze. You definitely don't want to be early on the freeze. If you're too early on the freeze, then the giant bombs around it will destroy your hogs, because if you freeze too early, it'll unthaw, and then you'll have Inferno Rays, and then you'll have giant bombs, and then your heal will do nothing. You'll lose too many hogs, too much damage, and because Nos is a beast, literally, with this queen still up, how is this even possible, guys? It's showing us Code Enigma. He cracked the code. Jazz and James didn't know what was going to hit him. Nice 3-star. Number 2 on the list. If you want to jump to Town Hall 9 stuff, skip to the end of the video. We'll get there eventually. Next up, me. You can watch that video later. Next up, Mud. 17. Mud key. Question mark? No. Perfection mark. Okay. This was a beautiful, nice, sophisticated hit. However, we did take a number of tries to get it down, but let's speed this up. What's happening? Using some wizards, hero, suicide heroes. Now, again, what are these suicide heroes? I've never used them before. You might be thinking, well, they do some really damage. You don't always have to go for the air defenses, but suicide heroes, what you're really looking for on the suicide hero is if you can get your queen in before the hound, the CC hound, comes out. Now, the thing is, once the hound pops, so if he entered on this side, the queen would not have gotten those air defenses down. She would have gotten the first one, but she probably wouldn't have gotten the inner core one. And the reason why she wouldn't have gotten the inner core one, well, because the hound would have come out, she would have locked onto the hound. In fact, she didn't even take the queen down. Again, that's why he came in at 12 o'clock. So, yeah, that is just no-go. That's a no-go, and this is a maxed out base. This is tough stuff. Here's the Coco Loon, going to trigger all the traps, all the good stuff. Very nicely done. Look at that. 2 red bombs triggered by 1, and then he's got full loons. That means all those back-end loons that come into that Inferno will not die out. If he brought all the loons there, at the same time, all those loons would have died. They would not have caused all that trouble, all that funneling, all that disaster, all that amazingness. And because of that, was really able to take this base down, even without taking the queen down. Now, you might be wondering, how in the world did this Mudkey guy from Germany 3-star this base with the queen up? It is so hot that I have to even take water. I mean, golly, I don't even know what to say. That was just beautiful execution. Nice heal spell on the back end. Guys, that's just so beautiful. I really like watching great attacks. Now, you guys, you got to understand, you got to plan these things. You just can't YOLO. Now, you can YOLO Mass Miner, sure, or YOLO Bowler Witch, but you're not going to be guaranteed those 3-stars because you can't stop those with certain bases. You really got to learn these other strategies, guys. If you don't learn them, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be in trouble. We're going to quadruple this one. This was a Bowler Witch attack, bitch himself, with a Queen Walk, in fact. Now, I really like the Queen Walk here because look what the Queen gets. Look at all this value. We'll do double right here and just your standard Bowler Witch attack. You've got bowlers going up the core, and he had bowlers on the side. Now, he definitely had more bowlers on the side than he wanted. I definitely know for a fact he did not want all these bowlers on the side. It didn't hurt him in the end, but it definitely could have. But there you go, my friends. There you go. That is how you do it. Again, these spam attacks, sometimes they work. We hit this base before. It didn't work on a different angle just because some of the passing. Again, you can bowler witch a base, and then if you change the direction, the entry point, it really makes a difference. It certainly does. This main difference was that he kept the queen alive. In the before version, it didn't happen that way. Queen didn't get as much damage done like this queen. So, thank you, Grizz. Another 10v10. Are we just going on these 10v10 routes? Hex! Well, I need to sing a song. What song am I going to sing? I don't know. What's the Sparta song? Well, I should make a Spartan song. I mean, what? I guess the movie is from Sparta, but I don't have a Spartan song. I don't even know if I can come up with one on the spot, but my voice is getting tired. This video is getting long. There you go. Look at this, guys. Wall breaker perfection. You know, I would say if you're struggling with wall breakers, it's very common these days. A lot of people do struggle with wall breakers. So if you are, just make sure you practice, guys. That's all I can say. Practice up. Even with the split bowlers, he was able to get this base down. Amazing. Now, he popped the queen ability early. You might be thinking, what in the world did he pop the queen for? He popped the queen so she wouldn't lock onto the hound. Very smart indeed. Now, look at this. Queen's getting some serious damage, but he's got hogs. Now, because he's really pathing in here very nicely. He's got side hogs here. Now, these side hogs are really all for pathing. Imagine he didn't have those pathing hogs. They would not have worked well in unison. What would have occurred was hogs would have split off. He would have lost more because they would have been distracted for much longer. They would have been being taken damage. I've always talked about this, guys. Funneling is key. Funneling and pinching and bringing in the hogs. Now, he didn't just spam them all in at 12 or 1 o'clock. He saved some for 10 o'clock. And he did that so his other main core hogs wouldn't split off and they'd meet together in the core. He could have saved you can save 1 or 2 hogs for the very end if you want, maybe for a cleanup, but typically you're going to be putting down all your hogs. Sometimes it is nice to have that kind of back end hog if you're maybe facing a wizard tower or something at the very end of your raid and you want to, do the do. But Hex himself coming in hot, showing code Enigma, bada bing. Spartan's legacy. You can't mess with Sparta. It fits the name, guys. Our attacks fit the name. We are so on fire right now. It is obscene. Obscene, absurd. But map 7 coming in. Now, this is the base I tried to 3-star with a dragon hit. Got an 88%, but this one was smashed with Lalo. So again, you don't always have to duplicate attacks. Sometimes you got to realize, just Lalo it. Maybe I should have Lalo, but I didn't want to. I wanted to try dragons. Anyways, another suicide Lalo. You see this a lot. The value of this suicide Lalo is, the queen can get great value here. Look at this beautiful queen action. She takes down enemy queen. Look at that, man. Expo, enemy queen, and just pure brilliance on the part, and the air defense as well. Gonna Lalo from the 6. Nice haste spells. You could have pre-placed those if you wanted. Oftentimes, if you're struggling, you can definitely pre-haste them. And this guy is so OP. Look at this. This guy is so OP that he had three hounds up. Are you kidding me? He had so many hounds up, it almost cost him in the end. But map 7, Sheng himself, he was like, I don't even need hounds. They're just so amazing. It's just crazy. I mean, it almost hurt him in the end because he almost didn't have the cleanup. But goodness gracious almighty, 3 hounds up on a 10v10. I don't know if it popped at the very end because of the Skelly, but I don't know if I've ever seen 3 hounds up. Yes, one of them was low health, but the other, half health. 3 hounds. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you say, everyone get out of our house, get out of our country, because Sparta is here. And Legend Killer, thankfully, took down Kim Jong-un. Ooh. The North Koreans, I don't think there's many North Koreans playing Clash of Clans, unless Kim Jong-un is playing. He is probably playing. You know what? I bet he is. And you know what he probably does? He probably mass minors. He probably bitches. He actually he does bitch. Yeah, he does. You know why? Because, we know why. Legend Killer. Again, now you might be thinking, what's happening? And I don't even know what's happening myself. I'm just watching these attacks as we go along, but I can kind of guess what's happening because he's bringing bowlers. Yeah, I'm pretty smart, guys. I'm very smart here. I've got skills, I've got wits, and I've got it all. Anyways, very nicely done. He tests wall break. You always want to do that. Most people are putting those little bombs on the outside, but the queen was for funneling, so the bowlers would step in. He had funnel at 12, and look at this. Funneling is very key. You don't want bowlers splitting off. The problem, bowlers really work well together. If they split off too much, they get away from rage, and they just get away from each other. They're like a powerhouse together, but they don't work well alone. Bowler bounces work well, but you know what I mean. In the core, you want your rages together, your bowlers together. Beautiful Lalo, everything's planned out. I don't even have to say it. If you don't know what's going on and you're like, how do these guys keep 3-starring this much? You're like, I can't even 1-star a base. How do these guys do it? It looks like magic. It looks like magical fingers are happening out here. Well, it's not magic, it's just pure practice and pure skill and pure dedication. Pure planning as well. You can't just spam in these attacks. You can't use strategies that try to do weird stuff. You have to make sure every troop is used accordingly. If your king and queen don't get the job done, not good. If you're loons and you're misplacing them and they're not getting the job done, not good. Every troop is definitely needed. You got to make sure you allocate your troops properly. You drop them in the right spot. That takes time, that takes practice, and you just got to see the base and do it. Okay? Just get it done. Keep practicing. That means FCs. If you're not FCing, then you are just out of this world. My goodness. One more attack. Mice or meese? I don't know. Show us. We're going to quadruple this. This is a queen walk minor. But mice, meese, who knows? El Real himself with a nice walk. Now, why walk on 6 o'clock? I showed this on stream. That's why y'all got to watch me on stream, guys. But look at this great value. Because there's no Infernos over here at 6 o'clock, he's just going to do a queen charge. He queen charges this whole section, and then eventually the queen comes over and picks up this side of the base at 3 o'clock. You got the wizard tower. He cleared all that section out, and that, my friends, is beautiful. Again, when you're doing queen walk minors, and he had some bowlers as well, what you do is try to create a side funnel on your queen, and then what you do with kind of perimeter troops, you get the job done. But let's just move on. Let's show Alpha's hit. Let us show Alpha's hit. What is he going to do? Oh, look at this, guys. Queen walk dragons at town hall 9. Beautiful. Beautiful! Yes! Okay, we got to speed this up. This is getting crazy long. 17 minutes. My voice is absurd. Absurdly tired. Getting tired. Streamed a lot. Streamed for 3 hours the other night. Or actually, for this war, sorry. Beautiful queen walk. Alpha showing us that Alpha is the Alpha and Omega. He is the god of the universe. He is the smoker of all smokers. He smokes bases and takes Snow Jedi 6 down to the ground. He's not Jon Snow. He's a Snow Jedi. What kind of name? Snow Jedi. What is this? Snow Jedi. Interesting. But using dragons here at 12 o'clock. Now, he could have actually maybe done a little bit better on the funneling, but I guess he was like, dragons, they'll get the job done. As far as funneling, thankfully, he didn't have all of his dragons drift off. He had 3 of them, which actually can cause serious damage. What you really don't want to see happen is having dragons do all the perimeter, because a lot of times you have defenses in the middle. So that's why what I'm talking about funneling. If he had more maybe defenses up there towards the core, which he didn't on this base, but if you encounter those bases, just be sure to try to funnel them in with archers, minions. You could use Valkyries, you can use all kinds of stuff. But let's show Sugar's attack. 3 golems, Hogs, beautiful. Thank you for showing us Sugar. Give me some sugar. Oh, a spring trap. He tried to get the lure. I think he tried to get the lure, but doesn't matter. The lure will come out when he pushes into the base. You know what? He wouldn't even got the lure. He definitely did that for, she. What am I talking about? Can't even talk these days. Very nicely done. We're going to double speed this, but look at this. Bowler push into the middle, king and queen behind. Pretty standard attack army strategy. Now, because he only brought 1 jump here, we already know that on the back end are going to be Hogs. Hogs are the way to go on these bases if you're doing that sort of strategy. If If you bring 2 jumps, that means you're usually not going to end up using hogs on the back end. But because of this base, how it kind of was laid out, it was better to bring the hogs on the back end. A lot of these defensive here, they were just kind of hard to get to by the kill squad. I mean, he could have got, she could have gotten them to him, but then in the end. But there you go. 1 jump, 3 golem push. That's how it's done. And let's go with Z Goodnight, shall we? This will be our last Town Hall 9. Another Queen Walk Lalo. Or another Queen Walk, what am I? Oh, it's a Gobo Lalo. So, very cool stuff. Now, as far as strategy, I don't know. If you want more in-depth strategy, watch my other videos. We're just watching some great... This is a war recap, guys. We're just really smashing these guys. We're just showing some beautifulness, giving props to our Town Hall 9s, Town Hall 10s, Town Hall 11s, and everybody in the war. We all helped out. We all planned. We all scouted. Actually, we didn't voice. Well, I didn't voice any of mine. I asked, we had a couple help, planning kind of in-game chat, which usually is not as effective. If you can voice, you definitely get more value from your attacks, but very nicely done. Again, in these attacks, if you're doing these kind of Queen Walk Gobo Lalos, what you do is start your queen and then you meet your queen up with the bowlers and the king and the golem. That way, it'll go well for you, that you can smack any base you want. And I'm getting tired. I'm going to end this soon. My voice is like... Stop talking, Halo. It's so tired. Thank you, good night. And I guess I shall bid you good night. And again, please subscribe. Please do all the good stuff. Give it up for Spartans Legacy. We are in the finals of the NDL. And we're ready. Hunting for blood. This is Sparta. This is Halo. And I'm out.